Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today we have the Youth Award judges joining Tracy and Christy in today's discussion, and they talk all about the process and the undeniably impressive candidates that they had to learn about through the selection process. So it's a great conversation. You'll probably learn something about the candidates in today's episode and just, again, the very difficult job that these judges had in selecting the Youth Award winners. So hope you enjoy this one, and we will see you again next week.
Welcome to Talk Exchange. I'm Tracy Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Christy Lindahl, Director of Communications.
Hi, Christy.
Hey, Tracy.
So we're back to school. People with children, people who are teachers and school professionals are back in school. And we had the great pleasure of interviewing our Youth Award winners recently.
Yeah.
We recognized the 3 students at our national convention, awarded them with their prize and also their $15,000 scholarship to continue their education. So I know you and I talked, and we thought it would be fun to interview some of the judges who chose those winners and talk about their experience.
The backstory.
So I'm excited about today. We're joined by Emilio Ramirez. Emilio is the president of the Toledo Association of Administrative Personnel, UAW Local 4252 in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome, Emilio.
Thank you very much.
And today's a big day for Emilio. He's being honored with a Black King Award this evening. So congratulations. And I know that's for all the community service you do and the fabulous impact you have with multiple organizations around town and beyond. So thank you for that. He's a really big-hearted, community-minded individual. Absolutely. And I know for several years now you've been serving as a youth judge. And you know what's cool? Just again, Emilio's a great example because we give our judges, some nice little gifts just to thank them. And Emilio always says, I don't do that for the gift, but we appreciate it. So we like to give you a gift as a small token of our appreciation. But Emilio, this year, you and your youth judge team chose Brandon Liu, who we met and had a great time with at convention. Really impressive young man, started his school year in California. We spoke to him right after he had orientation, so that was exciting. So tell us a little bit about how your experience has been serving as a Youth of the Year judge and what you've enjoyed about it and what you've seen.
Well, I have been doing it probably about 7 years and have done both the Youth of the Year Award and the ACE Award over the years. So, but recently, obviously, we did the Youth of the Year Award this past year. It is, you're going to hear from Cerssandra too, it is a difficult process. Obviously, there are between 20 and 30 applicants that come in from all over the nation. Each one has between 15 to 20 pages of their submissions. So you're talking about 300 pages of documents to go through, which is okay. It takes some time, but it's worth it. What I think that I gather from it is I feel bad at how underachieving I thought I was a highly achieving person, but then you read some of these stories from these kids that are 17, 18 years old, and it's just, whoa, I was not doing that at 17 and 18 years old in high school. Some of the things that come out of there, over the years, there was a student that won their science exhibit at their county level, then at their state level, then the national, and got picked up by NASA, and they wrote some program that was used for them. Some kids developed a nonprofit organization and raised, $120,000 during their high school time. I mean, just phenomenal stories that you read and go, oh, how, you can imagine what they're going to do beyond their career and what they use with the scholarship for to go to college and to do even greater things. So it is humbling to read some of those and then try to think, whoa, where was I when I was 17 and 18 years old in high school? But overall, it is, there's a 3-member committee. So we all take the packet home, and now I used to get a huge packet that you guys used to print, 300 pages of stuff. So now it's done through Dropbox, and we get the attachments, and we got to go through them that way, which is better, not cutting down trees. But so when we're going through them, what I do, we go through them independently. I have a cheat sheet, and I used to do it different ways over the years. I've kind of perfected a process that seems to work for me. What is to, as I read each one, I have like a check plus, check minus, check plus, and then I start even changing my little formula. But you start to recognize the top ones, because they're all good, and you really what you're trying to do is now eliminate ones that are still good, but you know that there's that one I read before was better than that one, right? So you try to balance it out. Then what we do is we take from every year is kind of different between 20 and 30. So on average, let's say 25. So you take the top 5, and then when we meet at the National Exchange headquarters, we do share our top 5. And undoubtedly, at least 3 of those are usually in the 3 members usually have those same ones. There has been a time where, there might be their number 6 is my number 3 or 4, and we talk about whether that should be into the top 5. But there's a lot of negotiation going in that discussion on who's going to get it. It is helpful for me because I am a union president and negotiate contracts, so
Right.
I have a little leg up in that room when we talk about So I try not to employ some of my negotiation techniques, but I do know enough to know that it is a committee's decision. So I don't go in there set on this is the one that has to be this one and only this one, right? So I have a couple that I'm flexible on, and the group kind of now has that same approach. They come to that approach, so we can narrow it down real quick. We bring you our top 5, and 3 of them or 2 of them are in everybody's top 5, and then we talk if there's somebody that we want to fight for to be in the top 3, and some of them win, some of them don't. We change it, and then we're down to top 2, and then it's a difficult decision. Or top 2, 3, or 2. Then it's like, well, we can go either way, and I'm good with either one. So then it's when we can kind of sit back and really dig through, and we go through them and read them again, the top 3 or so, and finally negotiate to a final 1 or 2 to be sent to you guys. So yeah,
Wow.
Well, I love the process and how you all work together, and I've walked by the room where all the judges are sitting, and I hear sometimes a spirited discussion, and I love how judges will advocate for, a person that they think is deserving. It's just really cool to hear that. And also to think about, the student, because the student has already won at the club level. Then they've been chosen at their district level, so they've already been chosen over a number of students to win at the district level. And then by the time they get to our national judges, they've already been honored a couple of times. That leads to this big honor.
Absolutely. And backtracking a little bit, Emilio, I knew that you were spending time behind the scenes working on this, but I had no clue that you were so committed that you've made your own checks and balance system.
Absolutely.
Score sheets. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, they really take this personally and seriously, and I like it because it is a big deal to the student who's ultimately chosen, and certainly to their club and to their district who they're so proud to be with these students at convention and kind of show them off like this is our winning student from our district. Now they won national, so it's pretty amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, and to anybody listening, you'll have the opportunity to read about these students in our upcoming issue of Exchange Today magazine.
Coming out mid-October.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you for putting the work and the thought into that project, Emilio. It really means a lot to the student and to Exchange, and we appreciate that.
Definitely.
Next.
And I know we talked about the youth, but the aces those are even harder. So I don't know.
Yes. So tell us your experience. No, tell us. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I know you have previously judged the ACE Award, which is for the student who has accepted the challenge of excellence.
Overcome challenges.
So everybody knows the Youth Award is about excellence in academics and leadership. So those are, I would say, overachievers. So your point is well taken that when they come if they made it to this level, they're already high achieving, right? You look at it, they're all 4.0 GPAs, they're all been in national merits. I mean, they're all in high level, and we're trying to find the top of the top, right? So ACE is obviously overcoming a challenge and still being successful and given to the community, kind of a thing. And those are much tougher. When you said about a tear in your eye, reading some of those stories of what they have overcome. I can tell you some of the stories are about, his father died in an accident, and then their mother has cancer, and they don't use that as a crutch. It's just stating the facts, and then and here's what I'm doing, and I did this, and I'm created a hygiene stop for my schools because kids need it, and I see the need, and you see that the service that they put into they overcome what they're dealing with and realized whether it's academics or whether it's volunteer or community or service, that it didn't define them going over the challenges. And again, I think as a reader, you think about, these kids have been through a whole heck of a lot and are still on top. And again, you start to reflect on yourself and think, nothing. I haven't been through those challenges, and they are doing better than I was at that age. So I have high hopes for those kids.
Yeah, their persistence and resilience is amazing.
We've had a few of our past ACE winners on the Talk Exchange on our podcast. And to the people listening, if you haven't listened to their stories, I highly recommend you do. The two individuals that we talked to have gone on to do great things.
Yes.
So not only did they overcome these obstacles as children, but they went on to spread their own messages about overcoming obstacles. And that's some of the work that these committee members do.
Absolutely. And our next guest, thank you, Emilio. Our next guest is Cerssandra McPherson. Cerssandra is an at-large Toledo City Councilwoman. So I connected with her at an event and talked to her about this program. Cerssandra was a judge for the Legacy of the Year, which is a relatively new award for our students. Right, Christy?
Correct. So our Legacy Award was developed, maybe, was it 3, 4, 5 years ago? And it recognizes children and grandchildren of Exchange Club members.
Yes.
Often what we find is the children who have been nominated also belong to an Exchange Club. So the stories are unique in their own, very different from the ACE and the youth. And Cerssandra, I'd like to ask you a little bit about what your experience was like. I know this was your first time judging. Was it what you expected, or did it vary a little bit?
I went in, I had no expectations. I'm sorry, because it was like, what are you doing here, girl? You just volunteered for something that you have no idea about. But I had an excellent partner.
Yes.
I'm gonna call her Judge Judy. I had the judge with me, and we sat down and we hit it off at the beginning. She telling her story. Oh my, I'll let her tell that one. And it was like, wow. And so we started going through, and we did do some of Emilio's process. As we read through them, we numbered them. We went through, read them, numbered them. Not this being my first time, and just reading about, the expectations and what to look for. And thank you, Ms. Tracy, and those that put that together. It was very detailed, and it was on point for a new person, easy to follow. So I appreciate that when you give all the information up front along with the applications. So then it was not overbearing. It is a lot of reading. As we sat down, and we met at Panera's, and as we sat down and went through, and the stories were very, some of them were very heart-wrenching. And then because of the legacy, you get a grandfather's insight on that child, or maybe a father's insight or mother's insight, whoever was connected before this student, you get a little bit from them because they get to write in also
Right.
in the essay.
So we should,
And
I guess we should explain that what we're looking for, this is my mistake, what we're looking for in these applications is children who've taken that spirit of service
Yes.
that exists in their family, harnessed it, and started their own legacy.
Nice.
So, yes. So I'm sorry, Cerssandra.
no, and that in a lot of them they did, and that's how it carried. And so some, when we went through and we did our little checks, was this in there? Was this in there in the story? What was the connection with the family member that was in the exchange?
Yeah.
What was the legacy?
Yes.
For us, the project where grandpa might have been a veteran and did something, and then the granddaughter maybe came in and did a project servicing veterans.
Yeah.
We looked for those connections, and some were very on point, some were abstract, some were trying to get there but really didn't get there. And you know how we are as parents, we always want to put in, our point to make it, to tie it all together. The student it was tough because we got down to, I want to say we got down to 5. Then we had to go back and do it again and look at them each individually again of those 5. And then we got down to 3. This young person, just hit every point and was detailed. And I think that stood out for both myself and Judge Judy. So it was easy.
So are you,
Yes.
Cerssandra, are we to expect you to come back and judge next year if you're invited?
Yes.
If I'm invited,
she's invited.
Yes, of
you know what I
course.
love? I'm just so impressed and thankful for you and Emilio, because hearing you also talk about the time
Yes.
that you spent in
Yeah.
your thoughtful process. And one thing I love is when it ties all together, where for both Cerssandra and Emilio, is that then when we met these students at convention, we can assure you, just meeting Gabby, the legacy of the year,
Yes.
she did check all the boxes. She is just amazing. And just her involvement even with exchange at such a young age, and the service that she's performed in the community, and her just that heart for service is so important and impactful. And we saw the same thing with the Youth of the Year, Brandon, as well as Brooke the Ace.
Yeah, Tracy, it was clear when we met these kids, every single one of them, that they were the right pick.
Absolutely.
They like Cerssandra said, they check all the boxes.
Yes.
And our members just loved them. Emilio, I know you haven't experienced how the convention body receives our youth winners, but you should come to the convention sometime. Your efforts would feel, what's the word I'm looking for?
Fulfilled?
Fulfilled, yes.
Yes.
I feel like you would really deserve, you deserve to see that.
Absolutely. I agree for the time and effort you've put into this, and we appreciate it. Any final thoughts on the experience, Emilio, before you go and receive an award yourself?
Yes.
Well, thank you. First, I will be at the convention this year. I'm not in negotiation, so I'm very happy to be able to make it this July.
Fantastic.
And I'm sure you can put up the dates of when that is and invite other folks too.
Yes.
Yes.
McPherson didn't say, she's an educator as well. I'm a former teacher. She was a former teacher and did other things after teaching. But I think that may help to contribute to the investment that we put into it and advocating for kids, and obviously we advocate for all kids, but trying to recognize those that need the recognition for what they have done and what they have achieved. So I'm glad to be part of that. I do believe in having a growth mindset when you do those kind of things, to make sure that you're able to expand not only your knowledge of what's going on in the world, but also to be able to
I found it. I think it's this.
put that into the readings of what
I can't.
these kids are achieving, to hopefully and with the scholarship money to support them to go on and beyond in their lives. So I'm glad to be part of it. I thank you for the opportunity, volunteer and service. That's what we do, and I know you guys, all of us out there on this call, do that. So I thank you for the opportunity.
And I'm gonna toot his horn here a little bit. Emilio is a member of our Exchange Club of Toledo, the second club in the nation, and he chairs our Christmas, our holiday family project. Emilio brought the idea to the clubs to look for those families that are stuck in the middle, the ones who are struggling but not necessarily receiving assistance. And now he and his wife go out and work with the schools to find these people. It has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my membership.
I agree.
And I just wanted to share that about him.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. Well, thank you for your involvement, Emilio, and we look forward to your continued involvement. And to any student who happens to listen to this, or any educator, if you'd like more information, find an exchange club near you, and you can do that by visiting nationalexchangeclub.org and looking at our club locator. To all of our exchange clubs listening, thank you for the work that you do to find these worthy students and be sure that they have a chance to be honored in this way. So thanks to all of you. And if you're looking to learn more about an exchange club, again, visit nationalexchangeclub.org. And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Talk Exchange.